So there are two types of rules. One is normal allocation rules, which is based on some like values in some account balance. So based on those values, so these number of employees, these will be stored in some statistical journal or statistical balance, and based on the value in these accounts, we want to distribute. So that is based on reference, some reference hierarchy or something we will use. And second is formula based allocation. Okay, so where you write a formula to like this is your target account and source, you are referring to few accounts or some calculation formula you will write for allocation. So these are two different types of allocations. In this, you will have a point of view and allocation. These are objects which you need to use for your allocation creation. And you can have this is a kind of workflow where you initially you will have begin and end. Then first you will drag and drop this point of view window. So these are point of view and this is your allocation object. So you have these like POV and allocation object. What is POV? So values which are going to be constant for, or dimensions which are going to be constant for this allocation, for this range. So say for example, we have three segments, okay, company, account and cost center, okay, or five segments, company, account, cost center, project and intercompany. So in this allocation, it is not based on project or intercompany. It is based on cost center or department, account and company code. Or company is also constant, like all companies we need to consider. So we will set those, or ledger or currency, if it is going to be constant, we set it in POV window. So how we set? Like you have all these dimensions. So in this particular example, your accounting period, it is a parameter. So you don't want to hard code that accounting period in this allocation. You are accepting a parameter from user. So user has to enter for which period he or she is running this allocation rule. Okay. Ledger. So it is for a specific ledger. So you are hard coding or you are specifying that in POV window. Okay, company, you are running it for one company only. That's why you can hard code, or depending on your scenario. Department, account, because I am going to distribute this based on my department code, IT, legal, marketing. So it is not going to be constant. So I have not specified department, I have not specified account, because I'll be considering this rent account. Also, I need to consider the accounts where I am storing the values for number of employees. So it is not going to be constant. Sub account, I am not using sub account product scenario. So for allocation, you have like some other scenario total for allocation. So you will use that. Currency, because here you will be using GBP currency, but to store this number of employees, you will be using statistical currency. So that's why currency is also not specified. Okay, so all these you will have in point of view window. Okay, it is expanded now. So here again you will see those cubes, S-base cubes. So let's go to our cube. Okay, we'll cover it. So this is where you are defining the parameter or that variable. So it is based on member, dimension is accounting period. You have to specify default period. Without that it will not work. Okay, and then after that you are dragging and dropping that allocation object in between that POV region, and you are specifying. So here it is a train stop. So in allocation, so there are 5-6 different values you will have. One will be your source. Okay, second will be your target, basis, offset, exception. Okay, so source is from where you will get the balances. So in our case, this is our source. So this combination I'll have to specify in source where I want to distribute. Say for example, my company is constant. Okay, it should be to IT department. My target account is same as rent account. This is my target account. Okay, basis, on which basis I want to do this. Okay, so basis will be your employee, number of employees. So some account will be there to maintain this information. Okay, so that will be basis. Offset, so when I'm passing a journal, so one effect is going to this, where will the other effect go? So I want to take this cost or expense out of that admin account. So I'll use that same code as offset, and if there is any exception. Okay, so that we need to, and there is another column, another item for range. So range is like we will create a parent account or parent cost department which will include IT, legal and marketing, so that this process is executed for these three departments. So I need a parent account. So once this is done, DB, click on this DB. It is going to be very slow. This particular window is very slow. Right click on this and click on new. Give some name to that allocation rule. Space, rest all we can accept as it is. Click OK. Okay, so these are some terms which we will be using, and all these are sequential, one after other. We will be able to configure it. Okay. So this is the window. These are the objects. If it is based on allocation or based on formula. So first we need to drag and drop this point of view in between this begin and end. So click, press that left mouse button and drop here. Okay, now we need to select what is going to be constant. So for this, let's create a variable under tools, variables. For now, we will hard code it because otherwise it will take too much time. Let's hard code this accounting period also. So if it is a variable, you select variable, and here it will list that variable, and you can select it, or else we will say member and say I'm going to run it for May period. Okay, and from this please, okay, it is not allowing that ledger. So for which ledger? Okay, ledger, then company, say I'm going to run it for only one company, so say 100. Account department I don't want. Scenario, I think it should not be selected. Scenario is blank. Okay, currency I don't want to select. This will be total. Okay, so this is what we have set in point of view. We can save it. Okay, and before we do go forward, we need to create a couple hierarchies for departments. Okay, so let's do it. Tree structure will be accounting flex field. Let me create a parent value. because we will need a parent value. Here we don't have any value in parent. So let me create a parent value first. Four characters. So parent, so summary will be yes, allow budgeting, allow posting will be no. Okay. I may have to go. Okay. So parent I have selected, and under this parent I'll add those three departments: IT, marketing, and say sales. Okay. And next step is to publish this hierarchy. So let's publish it, because if I don't publish, then it will not be available in Essbase Queue. Why it is not showing that? Oh, because I have not completed that audit. So before it is available for publishing, you need to audit it and set the status to active. So online audit. It will perform all the required validations, like multiple same value is not assigned to multiple parents in same hierarchy. So those kind of validations it will perform. check this checkbox and publish. Okay, in the meantime, so next step, after modifying that POV, we need to drag and drop this allocation object in between that POV. Okay, so now it will take us through that process. So though we have set it at POV level, if we want to change or we want to make something constant for this, so this first step is to enter POV. We don't want to do anything, so click on next. Next is source. So either we like distribute a particular amount. So one thing, like one difference between EBS and Fusion is there is no recurring journal functionality in Fusion. We cannot create a recurring journal, but the workaround suggested is create a allocation journal or allocation rule. So you want to distribute say 100,000 and you create that journal, and every month you execute this allocation rule. So here you can distribute a particular amount or you distribute based on this. So account, say my rent account is, let's consider some account, dummy account, what we have. Say depreciation account, something 40,002. I'm selecting, so whatever balance I have in this and department, because admin department is paying, so let's select admin, say 4,000. Okay, scenario will be total for allocation, balance amount. I want to distribute period activity, whatever activity. I don't want to distribute ending balance. So period activity I want to distribute, and currency, here currency will be GBP, your functional currency or whatever currency you have, you will use that. So GBP. This is optional. I don't want to distribute a particular amount. I want to distribute whatever balance I have based on these parameters plus POV, whatever we have defined in. So company and other things will come from POV. Okay, click on next. Let's save it. Next is allocation range. Enter the parent member for the dimension you want to use for the allocation. So here we want to distribute in these three departments. So we need to provide the parent value for this department. So let's select department, that parent value for department. So all the children under this parent will be getting this amount or will be used for this allocation. Target, what is my target account? Target account will be same. I want to transfer in same account, or you can have a different account also, depends on your requirement, but target account and target currency. So my target currency is also same. Okay. Next is offset. So one entry is created against these departments and these accounts, but in that journal where that other effect will go. So as I said, like I'll use the same account for my offset also. So let's select that account as department. I want to take that balance out of department segment, and currency will be GBP. Next, exclude. Out of that hierarchy, if I want to exclude any department, so I don't want to do that. Click on next. Now on which basis? Allocate evenly or allocate using some basis. So allocate evenly. If there are 3 departments, then 33.33% will go to each department, or 4 departments, then 25% will go to each department. But here we are saying like it should be based on some number of employees in each department. So say which period should be considered. So here in reality you will use that variable, so that it comes, that basis might be from different ledger, but different ledger will be visible here only if it is using that same chart of account and calendar, because here it cannot show data from some other S-base cube. And say I'm storing this number of employees in say cash account. I'm just using some dummy account. Okay. Balance amount, it should be ending balance. Okay. My currency should be statistical currency. So let's select stat as currency. It is a non-monetary currency. Currency type will be total. Okay. What is pending now? Amount type. Amount type will be base. For basis, because it can come from different ledger, so that's why it is asking for all the dimensions. Okay. Next, basis option. If the basis is negative, like you have credit balance or debit balance, so what should happen? If basis is 0, then about the allocation. Next, rounding. So number of decimal places to use for allocation. So say 2, and select the where to place the rounding difference. So it should be in biggest value or smallest value something, and click on save and finish. Okay. Now next step is to deploy this or validate this, or validate and deploy. So rule needs to be saved. Yes. Deployment is successful.